Hello everyone and welcome back to Bobbin's Minecraft Let's Play featuring the FTB Infinity Evolved Skyblock mod pack. You're watching episode 21 and I am on a platform that has existed for a while but it's been empty. And on here I have started doing some initial setup for Applied Energistics. I haven't really done much with it yet, but I have gone ahead and set up the mechanism for making the processors and for growing crystals and making fluids. And so I wanted to go ahead and briefly show that. I've got it set up. It's actually all controlled through it's not actually controlled through either applied energistics or logistics pipes at the moment. There's really not that much in terms of automation here. It's just going through Ender IO. If we look at this, I do have an energy acceptor set up here, and it's just receiving energy from a reactor over here. And of course it needs energy to drive these machines, but it doesn't actually otherwise have to be on an AE network, which is good because I don't have one at the moment. I've got a couple of chests here, and this chest you put stuff in it for making processors, and this chest you put stuff in it for making crystals basically. And so the processors, there's one set up here with a silicon press, one set up here with the calculation press, a logic press, the engineering press, and then there's one over here that's set up without that. This one is actually used to make the processors themselves once the components have been assembled. And that whole process is automated. Basically, if you go to this right here and put in, let's say, a gold ingot and a piece of redstone and a piece of silicon, it will actually utilize all of these machines as needed in order to make a logic processor. And it does that just by going ahead and making the silicon piece and the logic piece immediately, and then as soon as those components are complete they get sent over here to the inscriber where it sandwiches it with a piece of redstone in order to make the processor. The other piece of this, rather than making the processors, is growing crystals. This particular chamber, you can see there are 4 crystal growth accelerators. They're actually surrounding a block of water in the middle that you can't see. It's also used for making fluids, and the way that this works is I have set up an open crate from Britannia on top, and I just feed the components into the open crate where they drop down one at a time into the water, and then there is on the bottom of it an item transfer node from Extra Utilities that has world interaction upgrades and a filter in it, and the filter will pull out the 4 items that you see listed here, basically the purified crystals or fluix crystals, and send them over to this chest where they go back onto this Ender IO network and into the appropriate chest. I'm actually using the channels to distinguish destinations so that it doesn't loop things around or put them in the wrong chest or whatever. So that's what I've got set up here. I have actually gone ahead and got a lot of stuff sort of made here. I'm going to have to do a whole lot more automation with it, and I will probably get started on that soon. I'm not really sure where I want to put my AE system just yet. Ideally, it would kind of go over on this platform over here where I've been using my central hub. The problem with that is that it's currently occupied, and I don't want to remove all of this stuff until I have my AE system working. So I suppose it's remotely possible that I might just put the whole AE system up here in the short term. I guess I'll have to get all that figured out at some point. The other thing that's kind of interesting over here, sort of been going down, is I have where the whatever this thing is called, the infusion altar is built. I've gone in and set up this platform above it. It's made from some of this neat looking chiseled arcane stone. And it's just got all these crystals mounted on it in a symmetrical pattern. They're mounted top and bottom. You can see there are some creeper heads scattered around, some candles here in the middle. This is all for stabilizing it so that you can do infusions that have more danger of instability and actually get them done and working. I haven't done much of that yet. I have done some slight wand improvements. In testing it out, I went ahead and made a gold-banded reed wand, and I've made the silverwood rod for the silverwood wand. And that sort of brings me to what I want to do next today, because I'm going to have to hunt up some nodes. And of course I can fly now, so I can come down here, and I could fly all the way down to the bottom of the world and look for some nodes. The problem, of course, is that they're barely visible unless you have some way of viewing them. And one way you might do that is to use a thermometer. You can put that there and you can hold it up like this and go and hunt. That's kind of not how I want to do it, because that's kind of an awkward way of dealing with it. The preferred way, of course, is to use goggles of revealing. So let's look at seeing what's involved in that. Goggles of revealing has essentially the same recipe in this mod pack that it has by default, except that instead of using leather, it uses this witchery impregnated leather, which is made using whiff of magic, leather, and diamond vapor. So let's go and make some of that. So I'm going to need some leather, which I have somewhere over here. I should probably just request it rather than hunting it down, but I thought I knew where it was. There we go. Alright, and continuing up here, let's get 4 whiff of magic. And I already have some diamond vapor made. I made it up a little earlier. Let's go ahead and make that leather. And let's see. There we go, 4 impregnated leather. Coming back over here, actually, I know I'm going to need some mana glass and some gold. Alright, and then I'm going to need some crystals. Let's see if I can get this right the first time. Probably not. No, I did. Okay. So I didn't bring enough gold, but I have some in the chest here. And there we go. Goggles of revealing. But before I do that, I don't think I ever scanned... There we go. So some of these things do have some attributes on them that I haven't seen before. Good. Alright. So now I have goggles of revealing, which I'll just put away right now because I'm not going to carry them around in order to do any searching right now, because I do have another item on the agenda. One of the things that I discussed in a previous episode was making the bound blade, because I'm going to need blood shards. So the bound blade is made from a Sword of the Zephyr in a binding ritual. And I've actually never done this ritual before. I have never really progressed very far in blood magic, so I might screw it up. I hope you're entertained by that. We'll see. So the binding ritual is going to require, if I remember correctly from what I researched, I'm going to have a weak activation crystal to activate the ritual. That's made in a blood altar using a lava crystal. The lava crystal requires warded glass from Thaumcraft, 3 buckets of lava, an empty core, some obsidian, and a mana diamond. Empty core, on the other hand, is the simple catalyst, gold, mana glass, mana steel. Let's make that first. I do have some simple catalyst. I made some earlier. So there we go. And then gold is up here. Then mana glass and mana steel are down here. So it was gold, the catalyst, mana steel. There we go, empty core. So there's that piece. So obsidian, mana diamond, buckets of lava. So mana diamond. Obsidian should be straightforward enough. I keep that over here. You can tell I have a lot of inventory that's kind of decentralized at the moment. That's just sort of a side effect of not trying to gather it all up in one spot. I'll wait on the buckets of lava, but I need warded glass. Warded glass is made in the arcane work table, and you actually do have to do some research first. I'll show that in just a minute, but it's made from these 2 alchemy essences, or whatever you want to call them, and a zombie brain, and some greatwood planks, and some more mana glass. Let's gather all that stuff up. And I had already researched this, and so I've made the appropriate essences here, or whatever you want to call them. Reagents, they're for alchemy, so maybe that's the right term. And there's a zombie brain and 2 greatwood planks. There we go. Alright, so there's my warded glass. I only need 2 of those. Let me scan that, because I have not made that previously. In fact, why don't I scan that? Because I've never made those previously. Alright. Now I need 3 buckets of lava. I don't think I've got 3 buckets at the moment, so let's go up and make a couple buckets. There's actually one that I had there already. Alright. And you may have noticed that I'm sort of laying it out in my inventory as I go. That's just something that I sort of got in the habit of doing crafting a long time ago. I think it actually mostly comes from in the factorization mod, which I don't believe is current anymore, but it's a mod I used to use some every once in a while. There was a crafting table that you could hold in your inventory that just utilized this area right here as a crafting table in your inventory whenever you used it. And so you would craft in your inventory using that. And so I sort of got in the habit of laying out recipes there as I sort of assembled the components. Alright, so I've got my lava crystal here. We need to pop it in the oven, if you want to think of it that way, but it's a blood altar. And there's more than enough essence in there. I think the altar's full. It's got 50,000 in it. There we go. Just put that back in there. All right. So I've got that, and I've got the blade over here. So the other thing I have to do is to actually build the ritual. And the way that I'm going to do this, you can build it by hand, but I have gone ahead and gotten the necessary components for it. That's the ritual. What is this thing called? It's a sort of divining rod that you use to build rituals. And in this case, I've got it set to Ritual of Binding. You can take and click this thing. Let's see. I think if you just click it on the ground, it changes the direction it faces, and that's irrelevant for the Ritual of Binding since it's completely symmetrical. But you can also, if you shift-click it, you can change the ritual that it's going to do. And this thing actually helps you construct rituals. And let me get back to Ritual of Binding. It may take a while, because there are a lot of them. Even more than I thought. There we go. Alright, and you have to have the stuff in your inventory for it. So the way we use this thing, and I'm going to bring this one too, there's another item here for dismantling the ritual when you're done with it, if you choose to do that. And I am going to do that because I don't want to just keep it around. Alright, so I'm going to come up to this platform, and we'll just put this thing down somewhere convenient, like right there. And if we click here, it starts laying out the blocks automatically. And it just pulled them out of my inventory. I knew in advance that this one requires 24 of these blocks. Now I just need to figure out how to use this. I think that I'm just going to toss the Sword of the Zephyr on the center and then use the weak activation crystal. I'm not 100% sure on that. Let's just see how it works. Oops. Alright, and... so I'm missing something. Maybe I need my orb here. Let's try that. Because I think this thing is fueled from your LP network. There we go. Let's just keep feeding this thing. And... well, it disappeared. Where'd my blade go? I didn't pick it up. Is it still running, maybe? I don't know. I don't think there's any way that ritual would have used up all of my LP. Let's take a look at what we got going on here. Wow, apparently I did use up all of my LP. I'm not sure how I did that. Maybe the problem is that I needed to put the blade in afterwards. Let me go make another blade and see if that is what it is. I may have to do some research. If it doesn't work, then I guess I'll do some research and figure it out. Alright, I got a new Sword of the Zephyr. Thankfully, these things are not that expensive, and I've got plenty of materials. And let's see what happens if I pop this in here at this point. fire, but it worked. And I got an achievement, the Blood Orb Trophy. So that is that. Not as smooth as it could have gone. I did a little bit of stuff in the wrong order, and I'm definitely paying for it because my blood network is basically empty, and it shouldn't have taken nearly that much because it was full before, but that's okay. This needs to go back over here. I've got another mechanism of making these, but these started here, so I'm just going to go ahead and let them finish. It takes forever to do that way. So let's deconstruct this ritual so that it's not sitting here in the middle. The way we're going to do that is I'm just going to right click here on the Master Ritual Stone with the Ritual Dismantler, and all 24 of the Ritual Stones went back in there. Then I can just break this block and pick it up. Start putting away a bunch of this stuff, including the blade. Let's come up here and put my new trophy on the fence. And there we go. Now, I'm actually thinking I probably have enough time to go ahead and actually get a second achievement, I think, and hope. I was looking through the achievements and I was noticing that one of them is simply to make a charged attuned stone from witchery, and that's just done using circle magic. And if you were observant when I came up here before, you might have noticed that I went ahead and put down chalk marks, and I put that down for the appropriate ritual for charging a stone, which if we look in the book, it's the rite of charging, and it charges an attuned stone, and so we're going to need an attuned stone, glowstone dust, redstone, wood ash, and quicklime, and 2,000 altar power. Well, this altar is well over 2,000 power, so we're in good shape there. I've got the two concentric circles with the heart glyph in the middle already drawn. These are drawn with white chalk. The heart glyph in the middle is drawn with golden chalk. So I just need these items. An attuned stone, glowstone dust, redstone, wood ash, and quicklime. Let's see what we got here. Wood ash and quicklime are easy enough. Redstone, glowstone, and attuned stone. The attuned stone, let me go ahead and get it. I'm going to need a whiff of magic. I'm going to need a mana diamond. And I just put away my spare mana diamond that I was carrying around. But there's one there. I'm going to need a bucket of lava. Which, I'll just come over here and get it. Alright, so there's my bucket of lava. And then glowstone and redstone. Glowstone and redstone. So I'll craft the attuned stone. There we go on that. So those are the items I need. And hopefully I remember how to do a witchery ritual a little better than the one that I'd never actually done before. If I remember correctly, and it's been a while, I think you just drop all that stuff into the circle and click the glyph. Let me go to the very beginning and see if it says in here. I think that's it. So let's come over here and we'll just drop all this stuff down. Move away quickly before I start picking it up. It says unknown rite. Let's see if we got the right stuff here. Attune stone, glowstone dust, redstone. Quicklime, wood ash. That's interesting. It says unknown right. I wonder if it was even seeing the stuff that I'd put in there. Hmm. Let me do some additional research and see if I can figure out what I'm doing wrong. I know I've done this one before, but it's been a long time and I haven't done it a lot. Alright, I'm back and I'm ready to try this again. What I concluded was that the outermost of my two circles is, which is not the outermost circle that's possible. You can have three circles, but the outermost of these two circles was too large. So I've shrunk it in and I'm going to try it again and let's see what happens. And it worked. And we got our next achievement. So 2 achievements today. So let's go and put this one down here where it belongs. And there we go. So I think that's going to wrap it up for today. How many of these have we got now? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 9 of the achievements are done. Just before I go, let's see what's still remaining. I've gotten all the basic tech ones now, all of the basic magic ones except for the Elven Gateway from Britannia, and I actually think I have everything I'm going to need for that. And so I might do that one next episode. And then I've got 2 of these sort of secondary ones, and I don't think I'm particularly close on Ultimate Solar Panel or Angel Ring. And then I know I'm miles away from all of these. So we're getting pretty close to all of the achievements I'm going to be able to do in the short run. I think maybe just one more sometime soon. And then I'm really just going to have to sort of focus and get going on some of the others. I'm going to have to actually learn how to use Draconic Evolution. I've never used it before. I'll probably be just as bad with that one as I am with some of these magic mods. But I am going to muddle through them, and you will get to see me do it. So, with that, I am going to go ahead and call it an episode. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.